Hello everyone. Today, we're diving into the states of matter. We'll explore how solids, liquids, and gases differ and what makes each one unique. Let's uncover the science behind the everyday things around us. First, solids keep the same shape. That means they don't change shape unless you do something like break or cut them. For example, a brick or a book stays the same shape on its own. Next, solids take up the same amount of space. So if I put a solid object, like a pencil, in a box, it will always take up the same amount of room. Solids also keep the same volume, which is the amount of space they fill. They don't expand or shrink on their own like some other types of matter. And finally, solids can't be squashed or poured. If you try to press down on a solid block, like the person in the picture here, it won't change shape. Solids are strong and hold their form. In solids, the particles are arranged in a fixed pattern, are held together strongly, and are tightly packed together. Can vibrate, make small movements, but they stay in the same place. The particles in a solid are very close together. This makes it difficult for the volume of a solid to be made smaller. Solids have a fixed shape because attractive forces hold the particles together. These forces stop the particles from moving around. The particles can only vibrate. This means that a solid cannot flow. Now that we've looked at solids, let's talk about liquids. Liquids have some different properties that make them unique. First, liquids take the shape of the container they're in. This means that if you pour water into a glass, it will fill the shape of the glass. But if you pour it into a bowl, it will take the shape of the bowl instead. Next, the particles in liquids are held together weakly. Because of these weak bonds, liquids can change shape easily. The attractive forces between the particles are weak to allow them to move, but strong enough to hold them together. Liquids cannot be compressed. The volume of a liquid does not change. So, whether it's oil, water, or milk, all liquids have this in common: they flow easily and change shape depending on their container. Gases flow like liquids. They will fill any closed container they are in. Gases are very easy to compress. The volume of a gas can change. In gases, the particles do not touch each other. The particles can spread out to fill up the space they are in. Particles in a gas are a long way apart, so they can move quickly in all directions. This means that gas has no fixed shape or volume. When you compress a gas, the particles move closer together and the gas takes up less space. If you leave ice in a warm place, it melts and becomes liquid water. The temperature at which a solid melts is called the melting point. If you heat water until its temperature reaches 100 degrees Celsius, it will boil. All of the water rapidly changes to steam. Steam is water heated to the point that it turns into a gas. 100 degrees Celsius is the boiling point of water. If the water vapor or steam touches something cold, it condenses and changes back to liquid water. This is called condensation. If you put liquid water in the freezer, it freezes and becomes ice. These changes are known as changes of state. Last one, we will talk about the cycle of water. Water on Earth is constantly moving. The water moves between rivers, lakes, oceans, the atmosphere, and the land. It is recycled over and over again in a continuous system called the water cycle. You are still using the same water that the ancient Greeks and the Romans used. The Earth has been recycling water for more than 4 billion years. That's all for today. Please remember, everything around us, from the air we breathe to the water we drink, is made up of one of these states. Next, please complete some review question for this lesson.